All messages. Okay, here we go. This is a different kind of live stream. This is kind of like the old school live streams. We're inside my 2024 Toyota Tundra 1794. We are at a dealership, but it's just too cold to do anything. I'm making a stop at 2 dealerships today to show you 2 different 2026 Tundras that I'm considering. And this is stop number 1. And I planned on doing my normal live stream, you know, looking at some of the inventory they have. But after filming the one truck I came to see here, I can't feel my hands. So we're just going to do inside the cab today. Jonathan, what's going on, buddy? So this is the different old school kind of way. So you're going to stare at me for 10 minutes inside the cab. Hopefully I could start to feel my hands again, and then we'll be on the way. It has been the coldest winter and the most snowy winter I've seen up here in a very long time. So hopefully this all ends soon. Alan, good morning. And we get back to these normal dealership walks, because right now, so the truck is saying it's 11 degrees where I am right now, and there's a heavy wind. And on Weather Channel, it said the wind chill was around 0. So I was out there filming a truck. I was out there for 4 minutes. That's how long this part of the video was. And I had to just end it and come to the truck because it got to the point where I couldn't feel my hands to hit the camera. So it's just too cold to do this stuff. But if you're just signing on, good morning, Harry. How you doing? Good to see you. If you're just signing on, we're at Thompson Toyota, Doylestown, Pennsylvania, one of my absolute favorites. I'm here today to look at one Tundra, which I just filmed. You will see it tomorrow. And I'm going to another location after this to film a second Tundra, because I'm narrowing down my 2026 Toyota Tundra search for myself to see if I will trade in this 1794. And I figured today, because it's so cold, way too cold to do a full lot walk, we would just focus on that. Make sure you watch tomorrow's video to see what those 2 trucks are, because the one that's here at Thompson, I had numbers run on yesterday, and the numbers came back very close to where I would make a move. And it's kind of a shocking trim. So make sure you check it out. Stop number 2 has something really cool, but we'll go over all that tomorrow. I wanted to do this live stream, which this isn't the normal cool live stream where we're looking at the trucks while we talk, again, because of how cold it is, but I haven't done a live stream in a couple weeks because we didn't do a dealership walk last week because there was a massive ice storm. And just let me see if I can flip this around. You kind of get an idea, but it doesn't really give it justice. So there's still all of the snow and ice from last Sunday's storm because it has been 10 degrees all week long. So the ice isn't going anywhere. And this isn't snow. This is like actual ice. What a pain it has been this winter. This is truly the first winter that has gotten in the way of dealership walks. And that is a shame, but it is what it is. Let's get caught up on some people here. JP, what's going on? I'm going to try to stay warm, pal. I am feeling good inside my 1794 right now, but I'm not stepping outside again until I get to the second dealership, do a quick video film of one truck, get back to the truck. I didn't wear gloves when I was out there the first time. That was stupid. So I'm definitely going to wear gloves the next time. Timothy says, question, why is it if you get the 3-inch lift, you lose the fog lights? DOT compliance. And I say this in my videos when, you know, we talk about the fog lights. If you get the TRD 3-inch lift from factory, it deletes the fog lights, but it only deletes the physical fog light. The wiring is still there. The selector on the stalk inside the truck is still there. They just physically take out the fog light. So it's not the whole assembly that's gone. It's just the physical fog light if you want to add it back. Matthew, what's up, buddy? Watertown, New York, 5 degrees here. Matthew feels where I'm coming from right now. It's a different kind of cold. It's not a, I'm going to be a brave guy and go out there and film 16 Tundras for you kind of cold. I'll tell you that much. But we'll get back to it when we can. William says, good morning, dude. William, how you doing? Knoxville, Tennessee. We got about 6 inches of snow and teens in the single digits. I understand. Hope you're doing well. Stay warm. Have a blessed day. You too, my friend. Yes. Just, you know, and listen, I've been doing dealership walks for years and years and years, and I never had a problem. It's, you know, throw a coat on, throw gloves on, you go. And even 11 degrees. We've done dealership walks this year at that temperature, but when you have the wind that you have out there right now, I couldn't even talk right. I had to keep like cutting and starting over just because it was like, I was chattering. Unreal. Matthew says, 2026 Toyota Camry XSE in heavy metal gray with red interior. That would be sick. If that's what you're telling me you have that, because that's awesome. I love the Camry. Jimmy, what's going on, buddy? Only 2 weeks till the Daytona 500, says Stephanie. And here's another thing about that, Stephanie. I am pumped for the Daytona 500, absolutely. But tonight was supposed to be the Busch Clash. And they had to push it to tomorrow because at Bowman Gray Stadium, where they have that race, there's a storm going on, a snowstorm. They're getting snowed out in North Carolina. What's going on? What a world. Monty, what's going on, buddy? 2026 with 2K miles, blow up at my buddy's dealership. What the heck? We won't say the other word. I don't know, man. That's not good. But I'm still going to buy one. Timothy says, okay, thanks. Yes, that's the reason for the fog lights. And again, DOT compliance. It's for the height. I don't know. Erwin, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Monty, let me ask you a question. I know you have an RCSB Tundra, one of the sickest ones I've ever seen. If you guys don't know what RCSB means, regular cab, standard bed. So it's like the 2 or 3 seater with the 6.5 foot bed. Monty has a really nice one. My question to you, Monty, do you have it out in weather like this, or do you put it away for the winter? Let us know. We want to know. That thing is sweet. RCSB Tundra is one thing that people wish would come back. Some people wish would come back. I don't think it'll ever come back, just because it's one of those things where it's like, all right, if we're going to put our money where we want to see what sells, I think that would be really hot up front, but I don't think it would be something that would be long-term hot. But that's just my opinion. So the RCSB Tundra went from 07 to 13. And then in 2014, they only offered the regular cab with the 8-foot bed, so you lost the standard bed option on that. But if I remember correctly, yeah, stored every winter since new. So Monty has one that I believe, Monty, don't get mad at me if I get this wrong, Silver Sky Metallic, TRD Off-Road, 5.7 V8, 4x4. Beautiful spec, very hard to find. And now, when you go looking for the 07 to 13 RCSBs, they're not as common as they once were to even find on the used market. And they're asking for right around new price for those trucks now. So, but that's something to keep if you have. Yeah, 45,000 miles, looks new. Monty, if you send me a bunch of pictures one day and a little write-up on, you know, your whole story with that truck, I'd love to make a fan feature video on it, which we haven't done in a very long time. You guys remember the fan feature videos where you would send in information about your truck and some pictures, and we would show it off to the rest of the community. But feel free to do so. Looking into the TRD lift for my 2024 TRD Sport Tundra. I guess I'm buying out the lease on it then. Erwin, do me a favor before you make any purchases. Talk to your dealership, because Toyota lists the TRD lift is not compatible with TRD Sport. All right. Now, I think that's just because the TRD Sport has that 1-inch drop in the front. I don't think there's any more difference in components, but make sure you check with them in case there's something we don't know about before you spend all that money. Please do so. Jimmy says, Bowman Gray Stadium, short track. I've seen videos. Yep, a lot of great races over the years. Yep, a lot of drivers get into fights. There was actually a show on like Discovery Channel years ago with the modified guys. They basically followed them around and showed how mad they get at each other after each race and how competitive it is. But NASCAR races, their exhibition race before the Daytona 500 there, it's always fun. This is year number 2 at Bowman Gray, but it's not happening tonight. It's now happening tomorrow. Erwin says, I will, thanks. Yes, that's one thing. When it comes to the TRD lift, in case you guys don't know this, by the way, if you didn't see the video, we've been talking TRD lift for a very long time. The TRD lift is back available. It's off stop sale. You could always get it on the factory installed Tundras since it came out for the factory installed Tundras as an option. But in, I believe it was late 2024, Toyota put a stop sale on the TRD lift from the parts departments because they were having problems with the compression tool or something like that. And it's been on stop sale ever since, I think, late 2024 till like 2 weeks ago. So if you're looking for the TRD 3-inch lift for your Toyota Tundra that you already purchased, you can check out the parts department. They all have it now. I can't remember the price. I think it, from the parts department, somewhere around $3,000, $3,125 feels right. So check that out. Jonathan says, is the TRD performance package able to be installed by the dealership? Negative. It is not able to be installed by the dealership. If you don't know what the TRD performance package is, it is a package that adds a catback exhaust, TRD catback exhaust, TRD air boxes, and a slight tune on the truck. Adds about 32 horsepower. You have to fill the truck with premium if you get that package, but it's factory only. Has the 26 HVAC improved with the heat specifically? Good question, Nurse Drew. I don't know. The 2024 I'm going to go for me on this. I'm sitting in the heat in the 2024. I've never had a problem with my heat. I've had a problem with the AC, but somebody told me to just put it on low, and it has worked great ever since. So hopefully the HVAC has gotten better. That has been a complaint in the early years of new gen Tundra, but right now I'm sitting in a very warm truck and I couldn't be happier because I could feel my hands again. Speaking of lifts, I'm thinking the Westcott preloaded collar kit for the 2019 TRD Pro. Thoughts? Specifically, I don't know about that kit without looking into it, but Westcott, the team at Westcott, and the product that is put out from that brand is very good. And I could see myself throwing a Westcott kit on my truck. So definitely a company to check out. But I will check, if you send me an email, tundradude34@gmail.com, reminding me to check out that lift, I certainly will. But they make great products, and there are a lot of very happy customers with them, as per some of the Toyota Tundra forums out there. Brent, what's going on, pal? Good to see you. Good morning. It's good to feel my hands again. So how cold is it in Jersey today? Well, here in Pennsylvania, it's 11. In Jersey, I think it was 12 when I left this morning, but it's windy, and that's the worst part. I use the Westcott lift currently. They're not bad, especially for this TRD Pro. There you go. All right. So yeah, I'm really sorry, guys, that we're not outside braving the cold, which we normally do. It's normally no big deal, but just the few minutes I filmed with that Tundra there, all of a sudden I was like, my hands are to the point where I can't feel my fingers touching the screen on the camera. And that's not good, So for tomorrow, this is what you're going to see. Let me catch everybody up because there's a few of you on now. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, I would genuinely appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here this morning. We came here today to film a 2026 that I'm very much considering. It's pretty much narrowed down to about 2 Tundras. I filmed one here, and I'm going to another dealership that I'm going to film the other one. And then tomorrow, that's the video, and you guys let me know which one of those you would consider. The one here at Thompson Toyota, I had numbers run on yesterday, and it's very close. Very close. But I'm saving that for tomorrow. I think you guys will be very happy. I'm shocked, and I'm very happy, but got to make sure we cross the T's and dot the I's. And what that really means is I have to talk to my wife before I do anything, as you guys understand. Ession, what's going on? Monty says 94 Bronco is my winter vehicle to plow snow. Another sweet vehicle. You got good taste in vehicles. But very sorry that we're not out there, looking at all the cars today. We will get back to this, hopefully next Sunday. I'll wear a winter hat. I'll wear gloves. I'll wear an even bigger coat than I already wear. And we will try to find a nice amount of Tundras to film because we didn't do dealer walk next week. This week is an abbreviated one. But it was nice to kind of do this face-to-face live stream. We haven't done these in a while. Feel free to go down in the comments and let me know if you would like the face-to-face live streams like this to come back like once a week. I wouldn't mind doing it. I kind of miss you guys, just talking. Sometimes when we're out here looking at trucks, we're talking about specs and things like that. But when we do the sit-down live streams at home or in the cab, we're just hanging out. We're just having a hangout stream, right? That's what they say. What are your thoughts on the engine recalls? I don't like the engine recalls at all. There's 2 schools of thought on that. Number one, happy they're trying to take care of it with complete engines and trying to make it right. And the second school of thought is it good now, or are there more that need to be added going forward? How's the truck now? So there's a lot of questions out there. So personally, not channel Tundra Dude 34 thing, just Mark. It is what it is. I just, if it breaks, I'll get it fixed. Will it be a pain if it breaks? Absolutely. I think a lot of people feel that way. But yeah, listen, everybody's used to the first 2 generations of Toyota Tundra being ultra reliable. And there were things that went on in the first 2 generations, the frame recall and all that. Things happen. It's all about how the company steps up and takes care of it. So hopefully this engine recall is a thing of the past and we can move forward. Huge pain. I feel for those that are going through it, absolutely. And we will see where we go from there. They did upgrade the engine recall back in November to add some early 2024 Tundras. And I'm sitting, in case you guys don't know this, this is kind of funny. I'm sitting in a 2024 1794. If I remember correctly, the recall now extends into build dates into middle February 2024. This truck was built in February 2024, but I'm not under recall, which means I was built in the second half of February 2024. So I'm right on the edge. So I'm in a truck right now, 17,659 miles. It's been smooth. It's been good. There's been no issues. I remember that time I had the check engine light a few months ago, and of course thought the worst, and it turned out to be a hose that was loose. And I fixed the hose, and no check engine light has ever come back. So this truck's been great. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on everything. Every time there's an engine recall, every time there's a remedy, every time there's a defect information report, every time there's a stop sale, I go onto NHTSA website to keep you updated on customer complaints. I try to stay up to date on all the stuff that's given to me with as little speculation as possible. That's what I try to do for you guys, and I will continue to do so. So hopefully everybody has a Tundra that runs forever. Somebody asked this the other day, are there any Tundras with high mileage out there? Quite a few. Many with over 100,000 miles, and I've seen a few now with over 200,000 miles. So we shall see. Hopefully this is just some bumps in the beginning of this generation that will now be ironed out, and we get better and better each year. See, because it's not about, and this is just to me, if there's an engine failure, no one wants an engine failure, but for every model year, are the engine failures getting less versus built and sold units? So if you have 55 engine failures in a year, 55 engine failures, but you sold 150,000 Tundras. You see what I'm saying? The problem is Toyota doesn't really release data like that. The best thing we have, and if you've never read them, go do so. I've actually made videos on them. Just go back to November, you will see the defect information report. That is a report Toyota puts out that talks about the timeline of how they made the decision on the engine recall. You could go look at that for the May 2024 engine recall and the November 5th, I think it was, engine recall, which was the extension of the first one pretty much. And they go through the timeline. And there's a lot of good stuff in there because they mark everything they try to do to figure out the problem. So go check that out. Oh, so in that, they give you a little idea of the problems they're seeing as far as we had 820 warranty claims and field reports, things like that. But other than that, they don't come right out and say, you know, the amount of Tundras that have an actual engine failure. So you have to go off of things like NHTSA to look at some of the owner's complaints and just kind of see how the truck is doing. If you go on NHTSA and look at the complaints from 2022, which is year one of the new generation Tundra, and go all the way up to 2025, you will see the complaints have come way down. So the complaints and recalls have come way down year to year, which is a good thing. 2026, as of the last time I looked, which was last week, didn't have any complaints yet. It's still pretty new. Yeah, but I'll keep you updated on any information that comes out about it. The problem is there's just no information that comes out about it, but we shall see. Let me get caught up on these. Kevin says, having a 2024 bought in January, that's a hybrid. I'm not happy. No recall for me, and I have the old bearing. I'll be trading it off, and I'm not going back to Toyota. I think I saw your comment the other day on that. You're going to Ram or GMC, if I remember correctly. Let me know. Yeah, I mean, listen, for the hybrid owners, I totally think hybrid should be in the recall. I get it's a safety recall, and they're talking about motive power, but at this point, hybrid owners should totally be in there as well. But they have more information than me on failure rates and all that, so we shall see. But I think if you're asking for an educated guess, and this is just a guess, I don't know, I think hybrids will eventually be added to the recall. I think they have to be. Timothy says, I found a 2026 1794 in Mudbath with TRD off-road and 6.5-foot bed. The dealer wants $90K. Dealer put a horrible roll bar in the bed and horrible wheels and tires. Why do they add? Truck is sick, price is way too high, and some of those add-ons I can't stand. Like, for instance, what you just said there, with the wheels and tires and the roll bar, I'd probably walk away, even though that setup is very hard to find. Timothy, to make more money on suckers. There you go. Dougie, how do you do, buddy? I'm going back to Ram. Okay. So, listen, I'll miss you, Kevin. I hope you'll check in every once in a while and let us know how the Ram's doing and stuff. You're more than welcome to come and give pros and cons. I'd love to hear your pros and cons of the new truck versus the old truck. because that's always fun to do. That's why I test drive my brother's Ram anytime I can, stuff like that. I like to, you know, see what's up with the other manufacturers out there as well. So anyway, listen, in closing, I'm headed to a second dealership to show you a second Tundra. It's down to 2 for me for 2026 if I'm going to do the deal for 2026 or wait. The one here is pretty sick. I had numbers run on it, and it's very close, man. It's very close. Got to go talk to the wife. So that means I got to bring home bagels, all right? I got to make sure it's a good start to the day. Hello, honey. How are you? You look glorious as ever, as you always do. That rhymed. So we're going to head out here now. I thank you guys for being here. Monty says excited to send pics. Yes, please send pics of your truck. And tomorrow's video, you will see these 2 Tundras. And listen, I base a lot of my decisions on what you guys say. So make sure you give your opinion on the 2 trucks tomorrow, because who knows? Could see one in my driveway sooner than you think. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. God bless each and every one of you. God bless the troops and first responders. And of course, God bless the United States of America. Be safe, be well. Hit that like button on your way out, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Don't forget to go down in the comments and let me know. Do you want to do more of these live streams, the face-to-face live streams? Maybe we could do one once a week in my house, in the cab. Let me know. Love you guys. Be safe.